Have you ever noticed how a lot of things that the state of California does ends up infecting the whole rest of the United States? Yeah, so you remember a couple months ago we talked about California Assembly Bill 5, right? It was first brought about because the gig workers, Uber and Lyft drivers, basically wanted to be counted as employees and not independent contractors because they didn't have any benefits, no insurance, no workman's comp, no paid vacation, right? Now the companies, Uber and Lyft, and I guess other rideshare companies out there, wanted them to count them as independent contractors because they didn't want to pay all the benefits, vacation, all that stuff, right? They came up with legislation to define what it is to make a difference between an employee and an independent contractor, and they came down on the side of the workers. So the workers are happy. Companies not so much, I guess, but they have no choice because it passed and was signed into law. Then come the lawsuits, and it went all the way up through all the different courts, and it made it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided not even to hear it. So it went back down to the lower court ruling, which was their employees. The unintended consequences of this was trucking owner-operators were put in that same boat as these gig worker drivers, right? So the definition of what an employee is, independent contractor is, came into play in California for these owner-operator truck drivers, right? They basically said, unless you take the risk on everything, find your own loads, dispatch yourself, deliver the loads, unless you take care of everything, you're an employee in California. Instead of being an owner-operator, independent contractor, which truck drivers want to be, Uber drivers want to be employees, owner-operators want to be independent contractors. They know they're not going to get benefits, insurance, vacation, workman's comp. They know that. They're ready to take the risk on themselves, put in the hard work to make the money that they know they can make, or hope that they can make, and do it on their own. They don't want to be employees. But in California, since the Supreme Court did not take that up, in California, I guess, if you're in California, let me know how that's working out. How are they implementing it? Is there truck drivers giving up the business? Small fleets going out of business? I don't know, you tell me. Now, you say we know all this because we talked about it a few months ago. We went through all that before. But now, California's getting ready to infect the whole rest of the United States because the United States Department of Labor on October 13th put in a notice of proposed rulemaking basically to make the AB5 rule law in California nationwide. The wording in what the Labor Board put out sounds almost exactly from what I remember to what the legislation in California read. Basically, you have to take all the risks. You have to have the control of how much money you make or don't make. And then as far as truck drivers concerned, I'm guessing that the definition is going to come down to the same thing. Unless you have your own authority, book all your own loads and everything, they're going to have to consider you an employee. You won't be an independent contractor. And these guys at least to buy trucks, they're completely, messed up on that because and it's not going to come anywhere near the definition of owner-operator, independent contractor. And most people don't think they are anyway, right? Because there's basically just renting a truck because the company can take it back. That's a whole other video. This proposed rulemaking came out on October 13th, and they opened up the public comment period at that time, and it runs until November 28th. Now, this is Department of Labor, not the FMCSA this time, but it's still going to affect trucking. So, up until November 28th, you have a chance to put in your public comments And I will put the link to the public comment section down in the description and in a pinned comment. And I will also put out a link to the article that the Department of Labor put out of this proposed rulemaking. It's straight from them, so you can look at it and decide for yourself. So let me know what you think. Put those comments in. I know you may not be an owner-operator, but you might know one. It's going to affect trucking altogether, no matter if you're an owner-operator or not. So put your public comment in. Make your voice be heard. Stick around. Watch some more of my videos. Subscribe if you have. If you have, that's good. If you haven't subscribed, you know the thing. We'll see you later.